All right, here we go. All right, hi, Dr. Kaufman. This is Reverend Paul Slatkus. I'm very excited to get to speak with you. Actually, I just met you, and I met you in a health and wellness scenario because you're a urologist, I believe. And I met you because I have a concerning scenario with a man's parts. I think they call them the scrotum or testicles. Is scrotum and the testicles the same scenario? Are they the same place?
I'm sorry, I was just getting a phone call. Do that again.
It's such a precious moment. Actually, a very precious moment for a man. Is the scrotum and testicles the same thing? I'm stupid.
No, the testicles live inside the scrotum. The
Oh,
scrotum is the sac that holds the testicles.
all righty. Okay. Now, as you get older, does that sac sag? It's a kind of a rhyme.
Along with many other things that sag as you get older, in men and women.
Uh-huh. So what is a man that's 73 or a man at, does it happen early? Does it happen to some people in their 40s?
No, I would say not.
So what is a man and maybe a woman? All right, let's stick with the man at this point. What should a man do?
He should accept the fact that he's 73 years old and understand that these things happen naturally.
Okay. All right. Now, are there though concerning, because I went and I did the sonogram kind of thing. And they put the whatever or jelly all over me and they checked it all out. And they came up with not too much that was concerned. I was concerned, I'll tell you, I was concerned that I had testicular cancer. Did it no?
Well,
No,
first of all, testicular cancer is relatively rare in men over the age of 30. There is a second blip of seminoma, a testicular cancer, in men who are in their 60s, but I think in my 33-year career, I've seen that happen once. Whereas in men under 30, it's probably the most common malignancy that we encounter other than blood malignancies.
Wow. Why does that happen? I mean, that seems to me you're 33, you're shaking and baking.
Except for your risk of testicular cancer. You're shaken and baking.
Why does that happen? Do you know why?
You know what? If I knew the answer to that, you would see me in Stockholm receiving the Nobel Prize.
All right. So now, based upon that comment, all right, everybody out there, I suggest some of you become researchers, right, and scientists, and those that have unfortunately received this medical concern, join a group to study it. And we need a solution. How many people have this disease?
How many people have what? I'm sorry?
Testicular cancer, 30 plus and under. A lot?
I mean, I don't have the number at my fingertips, but again, it is the most common malignancy we see in men under the age of 30. I mean, cancers in general are cells that go haywire, and probably the younger age group is the patient population where the testicles get used the most and put under the most stress, and that could be why we see it in this younger age group.
Is that when you say that most used, meaning that maybe sports-wise and or sexual involvement-wise?
I mean sexual involvement-wise.
So that's our good days?
Well, there are more good days when you're in your 30s than when you're in your 70s.
Speak for yourself. No, I'm sorry. I'm so happy. I hope you don't mind. I think, I mean, our sexuality and physical scenario is maybe when health, of course, is the number one concern and one of the most beautiful things that we have, right?
I would agree, but you need to make you need to have reasonable expectations as you age.
So now so how do I age? Is there a way to age better? Say, now we're talking urologically. Is there things that we should do? Should we, I don't know, after sex, do you go to the bathroom? Or if you masturbate, do you go to the bathroom? Or is that,
Well, that's a really good starting point. one of the most common reasons why I see younger men in my urology practice is for the male equivalent of urinary tract infections. Men don't really get bladder infections, but what they do get are prostate infections. And just like we tell our female patients to urinate after sex and wash out any bacteria that got pushed up from the vagina into the bladder, men need to do the same thing. And I'm surprised that more mothers don't tell their sons this as they're growing up. Men need to urinate after sex as well to limit their risk of prostate infections.
I'll be frank and direct here. I would venture to say I didn't know this. I don't know. I don't recollect how I do it. But I would probably, if I was and I am a researcher, I bet you 50% of the world does not know what you're saying.
And as a result, my practice is very busy.
All right. So not that I want to see you lose work, but the point of the matter is, all right, everybody. So after sexual encounter with either yourself or anybody else, go to the bathroom.
So not only do you need to go to the bathroom, but you need to pee like a fire hose afterwards. So, and this is for men and women. And I've written about this and I've been interviewed about this numerous times. It's important to not urinate before sex so you can pee like a fire hose after sex. But urinating before sex doesn't protect you from anything. It's really urinating afterwards that's the important part.
But if all right, so here, let's go backwards or forwards here. I think probably though, people, if they're going to have sex, they don't want to feel like they have their bladder filled. And, well, they're going to have sex because they might, in essence, have a pee when they're having sex. Now, that would be embarrassing, wouldn't it?
Well, you need to know your limitations, but I think most people can manage that.
Okay, so all right, step number 2, everybody. So are you saying, did you write a book or did you write an article? What do you got?
No, I've been quoted in numerous articles in numerous magazines speaking about these subjects.
Oh, all righty, good. So because we just met. And so I'm learning about you. I'm learning about you through my good buddy, Dr. Minatoli. And who I think the world of, and he's been my doctor over 20 years, and he's that family smart doctor who sends you to smart people and is there for you for all these years as a professional. In fact, I interview him often. And I interview hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of doctors from mostly pharma. They're involved with the pharma people.
Right.
So,
just a word about Dr. Minatoli. He is really a dying breed, unfortunately, of that Marcus Welby family doctor that takes care of everything. I'm afraid that the doctors coming out of their residencies now really don't have the skill set that Dr. Minatoli's do.
Well, one good thing, some of the schools are being smart. I'll just throw that in because my undergraduate, I went to Quinnipiac University. It was a college in the days I went. But in their new medical school, or maybe it's not so new anymore, they require general practice. You have to go in. Maybe this is a thing happening in colleges because that general well-balanced knowledge, I think, is very effective. Do you agree?
It's incredibly important. And, we need more doctors like Dr. Minatoli.
All righty. That's a beautiful thing. So back to my own scenario. So I have this concerning scenario, and you gave me some encouragement that this is just something that an older person does get. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, a word about ultrasound. Ultrasound is just a study, and to rely on an ultrasound without a clinician interpreting the results can make you can give you the false impression. I mean, they commented on a finding on you. They identified small bilateral hydroceles. From a clinical point of view, That's a normal finding in people. I mean, they have to describe what they see, but you need a clinician who takes care of patients to look at the study, and even more importantly, look at the patient and examine the patient and determine that this was just what we call a subclinical finding. Yes, it's there, but it's of no clinical importance. And that was the case with you,
That was
happily.
the good news with me.
The good news.
All right, we like the good news. The only, though, then I have to say, I'll be frank, the only bad news is I still have a lowering of one of my testicles.
You really want to get into this in front of everybody?
I don't have a problem with it, and I'll tell you why. Because if somebody can learn something from me, then I've done a service to humankind.
Well, I mean,
Unless
from
you
my
want them to come to see
perspective,
you. Yeah.
from my perspective, having examined thousands and thousands of men, you're not any different than a majority of other men. So take it from me. You're
That's
fine.
what you said to me, which gave me a lot of made me have hope and positiveness, and that I should live. And I just was with Dr. Mazzoli this morning for another concern, and I mentioned that, and he said, "Okay, let's see." So I'm going to come back and see you in 6 weeks, and we'll take it from there, and we'll, I guess, just watch and see. I mean, if the thing goes to the floor, then I got real problems. Will it go to the floor?
Well, I sent you something in the mail that should help them.
Oh, you said, we can tell people. I got no problem with that, because I have become, so the doctor said to me, if you don't mind, I'm very open. That I should better wear, and I wanted to throw this out there in this call, underwear that fits you better. So I'm one by one taking underwear that doesn't have a firmness to that, and from when I was in high school, I think I still have, and not using them. And why
And
do
I
you
believe
say
that because your underwear is so stretched out, it doesn't, your you know what is just swinging in the breeze there. You need
I know.
something a little bit more supportive.
I wore that because it was air conditioned, because that.
So one of my urologic services is that I supply undergarments to certain special patients.
Okay, well, yeah. And I'm inviting you to our World Peace Day concert as a result. And I'm getting you a Kishka. And I already sent you. I sent you to see. I did my research. I'm not a talker bee. We gotta go to
Second Avenue Deli, right on the menu.
It's right on the corner. So we're just going to go down there one day, and
Sounds great.
We'll
It'll
take
bring me back to my bar mitzvah. And
All
Leonard's a
righty.
great name.
And mine too, and I can't wait. All right, well, I think I hounded you enough here on this call. You're a professional. I appreciate it. Nice place, a wonderful administrative assistance. Where's the location of your practice?
So I am part of I'm the director of urology at a multi-specialty group in New York City. We're probably the largest physician-owned multi-specialty group in New York City, called Maiden Lane Medical. We have 6 locations in the tri-state area and in Yonkers, but my location is on 41st Street between 5th Avenue and Madison, right by Grand Central Terminal.
Okay, a beautiful area as well. I think that first, because I recollect, it's right by the library, our precious library here in Manhattan. And you are actually on library, I don't know if they call it, I've done shows on it, Library
Row.
And the quotes, everybody, when you go to see the doctor, if you need to see the doctor, or somebody that needs to see the doctor, you need to go and see those beautiful quotes. And if you don't need to see the doctor, I still say go over there and read all those quotes from authors' brilliance. That alone is phenomenal.
Yeah, I never get tired of it.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let me ask you a last question here. Because we're involved with the International Day of Peace for 20 years, and I've asked thousands of people, what is peace for you? So, Dr. Kaufman, what does peace mean to you?
Peace is when they beat their weapons into plowshares and make war no more.
This doctor, he's fantastic. This is a great man. And I'm going over to the UN right now, to the UN Church, because I'm producing a show for nuclear prayer. This is the weekend of Hiroshima. And in Hiroshima, they will do a moment of silence like we request here and as the United Nations request for September 21st. And so we're going to do, the entire country takes a moment, and this is what I'm trying to do, get the whole world to do a moment of silence for peace on September 21st, which is a resolution of the UN. And today's the nuclear prayer day. So let's pray that the Doc Hammarskjöld words that you just shared with us, that can also be seen over across the street from the UN at the Dag Hammarskjöld. I think it's the plaza there. This is good stuff. Dr. Kaufman, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
God bless you. Thank you.
God bless you.